Hey guys, it's Trista. Thanks for joining me today. I have something really special for you. Sharing with you a little visit I had with my friend Kristen, who is the general manager at Decorators Warehouse out in Arlington. And if you've not been to Decorators Warehouse, it is a mega store full of everything Christmas. Lots of other holidays too, but really I'm there for the Christmas. So I love going out to see her every year and pick her brain on how to decorate for Christmas. And so she gives me the latest in tips and tricks, and you can find some of those other videos on my channel. But today we are talking about how to decorate a Christmas tree and how to decorate maybe swag, maybe carry it into the other part of your house. So this is a really special video. She is so smart when it comes to this stuff, way smarter than me. So I can't wait to share it with you.
What's not traditionally ornaments can be used in your tree. So take this one, for example. We actually have nutcrackers that we've kind of tucked into the tree. Not ornaments, but actually tabletop pieces. So it just kind of fills in big pockets of your decor, and it creates a big impact. So we have that, through a lot of our themes this year, especially with the larger scale bells, cookies. I mean, it's really taking shape across a lot of themes. Angels, signs, yeah, for
People
sure.
Put lots of signs in the trees.
That's a really, really popular look right now. Think out of the box and use big scale items.
That's great. And that fills up more of the tree too. So.
For sure.
Talk about the sprays at the top.
Absolutely.
All of your trees have gorgeous sprays.
Yes. So we've kind of developed a 4-step process to decorating, and you can read about it on our. Yes, it's on our blog, and we have several videos that detail it as well too. But we understand that this can be overwhelming when you come in and you see a tree and it's stuffed to the brim, and we understand that probably not the average consumer decorates to that extent. So what we did is we created a 4-step process, and it's really just layering is what it is, to really recreate these looks in your home. So the first step of our 4 steps is the topper. And there's different variations on this too.
So that's step 1.
That's step 1.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I've been doing it all backwards.
That's okay. You can always do it last too, but I generally do it first just because, if you're up on a ladder and you don't want to be knocking the decor on the tree. So
that makes sense.
But you can do it last too. I've done it that way. Okay. So our first step is our topper. And what we do is we'll use individual picks to create a look like this.
Okay.
So in a 7.5 foot tree, well, really any size tree, we use about 5 styles. And what you're looking for is you want pieces with height and you want different textures. So, like you might want some long wispy pieces and mix it with the berry.
Are you talking about the top stuff?
Yep, for the top, yeah. So this one it's roughly 30 sprays is what it is. So 5 styles, it's about 6 stems per style to get the really big look like this. And you're always running your stem straight along the pole because the branches are wired and you can kind of bend them out to get this look here. Now we realize not everybody likes them this full, so another thing that we'll do, it's a simpler version of the topper, but it still creates kind of that polish at the top. We'll create clusters. So a cluster might be, 2 stems or 3 stems and 2 florals, which those will stick through the body of the tree too. But it's just a great way to create polish at the top. You could take that cluster and you could repeat it on the front and then again on the back for a 7.5 foot tree, and then maybe repeat that 3 times around for a 9 foot tree.
Interesting. So
yes.
Math is important.
But it's just 2 different looks. So one's, more full, and then one is a little more simplistic, but still beautiful.
So talk about the transition between the topper and the tree. I see a lot of
ribbon
in that section.
We love ribbon.
That's a really good next stop.
Yeah, we love ribbon. And so basically what we have there is just series of loops. So, you create a loop and a tail, and then we insert that kind of along the base of the topper. And so what it does, it conceals any stems, and then it creates that transition into the body of the tree.
Gotcha. Yes, because otherwise you have a tendency to have a hourglass at the top.
Yeah, so absolutely. So, and that just creates a nice transition, and it just kind of hides everything and gives it that polished look for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about ribbon for a minute. Ribbon is huge on all of your trees.
Yes.
But some of it's layered, some of it's like we could do a whole segment on ribbons.
For
right?
sure,
So let's talk
yes.
about ribbons.
Yes, ribbon is my favorite part of the tree, just because I think it's the most impactful, but it also can be the most intimidating. And so we really do try to break it down. That's the second step in our 4 steps.
Okay.
But what I recommend is layering.
Let's go in the ribbon room. Can we go in the ribbon
Let's
room
go in the
to talk
ribbon
about
room.
ribbons?
Yes,
Okay,
for
let's go
sure.
there.
Good idea.
Okay, so give us the 411 on proper ribbon usage for a tree.
Well, first of all, there's no right or wrong.
Okay.
This is just kind of the way that we do it. But of course, adapt it to your lifestyle and your preferences. But what we do when we're decorating with ribbon is we'll generally pick 2 main ribbons that we're going to layer. And your top ribbon, whatever's going to showcase the most, this will generally be some kind of patterned ribbon.
Okay.
And then under it, we recommend using, something, maybe a solid or something that's just textural, or even a repeating pattern like a plaid. So you'll put this one on top, and then this is going to go under it where you're just getting that little pop. And generally, too, we recommend using 4-inch ribbons when you're decorating your Christmas tree. It just scales really nice.
Are these the same width? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would have thought to put that one smaller on top because I don't know. That's what would make sense to me, but I love that.
Yeah. So that.
And so then it does the...
Absolutely. And then sometimes we'll come in with like a 3rd roll. And we'll just create little like accents. So it could be 1 loop, it could be tails, it could be a small bow. But this is just, playful print, something that you want to kind of give it that pop. So like this little plaid pairs really nicely with these 2.
So what I'm gathering is the most important thing is to keep it all in the same color family.
Absolutely.
And then anything will go.
Yep. And
any pattern will go.
100%.
Okay.
And I usually base my whole Christmas tree design around the ribbon. So that's where I start. Generally, as I find something that speaks to me, and then I just kind of jump off from there and build the whole design around the ribbon.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
But actually, if you want to take a look up here. This is the kind of ribbon in a garland design, but similar principles for decorating a tree. We cut our ribbon, just gives you control over where the ribbon goes. So right here, this is one continuous piece. So what I've done, I've left a tail, it's maybe 8 inches or so. I've wrapped the greenery around, and then I've created a loop, and then I secure it with more greenery. So now, instead of starting my next loop here, kind of going to pull it to the other side.
Okay.
So now we have some symmetry there, and it's not so
Gotcha.
repetitive. So I've got a loop here, secured. And then if you want to add like a little decorative loop, you can do that too. So this is just a small loop. And then you can see I left a tail and I cut. So that's one continuous piece there. We replicate that in Christmas trees too. So we'll use 2 bigger loops through the tree, and then we'll make a cut.
So is that the 2 loops and then a cut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is 1, 2 loops,
Yep.
and then a cut, and then 1, 2 loops,
Yep, so
and a
you've
cut.
got a loop,
Yep.
and then your little decorative one here, and then a cut. So that's a continuous piece. This is
Gotcha.
a continuous piece.
All right.
But also on a garland design, start with your ribbon, and that kind of shows you where to fill in with other sprays or florals.
And we can show this one too.
Yep. So similar principle here too. You've got a loop, and then a cut.
If you wanted to work in ornaments, where do you put it? Do you put it at the joints, or do you put it in between?
Yeah, so if I was working on this garland, probably what I would do, you have these like natural pockets almost. So you could come in with, you could put a floral here and a floral here, and then just kind of do the ornaments between them.
Okay.
Or if you wanted a more simplistic design with maybe just shatterproof, kind of tuck them. You're almost like going in a diagonal formation through the
Gotcha.
garland. So you'd be here, 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 and just work all the way through. So when you start thinking about it like that, it really simplifies the process and makes it attainable.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you, Trista.
Okay, so let's talk about how we've got the miniatures all blown up. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but opposite, I guess.
Right.
This is what struck my eye are these ginormous cookies, and they're surprisingly light
Yeah, they really are.
and realistic. Because
Yes, I want to eat them.
this is way too close to lunchtime, and I want to eat these
hungry
right now. But these are absolutely stunning. But then we've got giant sleigh bells too.
Absolutely, and these are one of our hottest items. But yeah, you're taking miniatures and you're blowing them up, and then what it does, it really creates something unexpected in the tree too, and it takes up big spaces. So you could definitely do like a grouping of these bells, add 2 or 3 together, stick them into the tree, and even a garland design. You could put these at the corner of the design and really create something impactful.
I think I've seen these like on a fireplace hearth a lot.
Yeah.
Like, on the corners and stuff.
And
it's
kind of
gorgeous.
an interesting note on that, garland design has changed a lot too. So one trend that we see a lot in the industry is kind of the off-center garland.
Yes.
Yes.
I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah.
What is with everything being off center and not balanced?
Yep. So
It makes my OCD heart just flutter.
For sure, yeah, and it's definitely different, and it's not for everyone. But if you have a bigger scale item like this, that's a great time to showcase it. So what you're seeing is the garland kind of starting in the middle of the fireplace, and going to the corner and then draping down. And so when you have a design like that, popping something like these bells right into that corner really creates something impactful.
Sure. Do you need to, if you're doing an offset garland like that, do you need to balance it with something on the other side?
Yeah, I would put probably some height onto the mantle on the opposite corner. Okay. So maybe bring in a lantern or maybe a vase with some tall stems. But yeah, you do want to create some balance there as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what about signs?
Oh my gosh, signs are such a big trend too. So we do a lot where we add them directly into the tree. Mm-hmm. This is a great example here. So you can see these signs, which would be adorable on a door by themselves. They actually make great focal points in the tree design. And usually what I would do is, once you have your ribbon placed, come in with your signs, since it is a bigger piece, and that's going to kind of direct where you place all of your florals and your sprays.
We've got the big bells.
Big bells, absolutely. And I don't think it's just because we're in Texas. I think this is where it's going for sure.
And then I know these were hot a couple years ago.
Oh yeah. These are
still classic now.
Absolutely.
Right?
And you could do this in really any kind of design. We've done them in winter wonderland theme with snow in them, and you could put.
What are these called again? Feeders?
They're like bird feeders. Yeah, okay. But in this one we have pine cones and a berry and a cardinal. But you could absolutely do snow and a candle if you wanted really like a soft candlelight look on your tree at night. That'd be gorgeous.
Very pretty.
So, yes.
Okay, what you got now?
All right, so we were just talking about tablescapes and trends there. And so one thing, I don't know if this is even a trend, I think it's just always in style, is just natural looking foliage.
This looks so real. Like I immediately had to touch it because this is amazing.
So this is called our Norfolk garland, and it's one of our hottest items.
I can see why.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We have it in a wreath too, but it's so natural. And so this is a great way to transition, your Christmas tree decor and pull it into other rooms of your house. This by itself just laid down the middle of a table, and then you could add in some height, maybe with candlesticks, or lanterns. It's just a really, really beautiful natural look.
Could you use this on your door?
100%, yes.
So it's outdoor ready?
Yep.
That's stunning.
But it's gorgeous. And you can, if you want a thicker look, sometimes what we'll do is we'll pair it with, another garland and kind of layer the two to get a thicker look. But, and I use it in my home draping on the staircase just because of the way it hangs. It's so nice. But it's also one of my go-tos when we're talking about tablescapes.
So when you're talking about a tablescape, like a lot of people, if they have a beautiful tree, like we have the navy one over here, and you wanted to pull that look into the rest of your room, you know, for a tablescape or on top of a,
Yep.
I don't know, a dresser or, you know, whatever. Do you use the same layering theory when you're doing a tablescape? Like, I know you have the recipe for putting a tree together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you?
And it kind of is a layering technique. So usually, you know, when I'm doing a tablescape, my first base layer is going to be textiles.
Okay.
So, you know, if you want to pull in the color maybe in a table runner, that's a great starting point. Or, you know, if you're bringing in placemats or thinking about napkins. That's kind of similar to ribbon, where you kind of base your whole design around a certain piece. So that's where I start generally, is with, you know, textile or fabric. And then you just come in, it's just layering. So, you know, you might do something like this that goes kind of along the table to just create some interest. Okay. And then, you know, you want to bring in some height too. So this could be done in the form of, you know, cake stands or candlesticks, but it just kind of gives you some interest too, rather than everything being nutcrackers. That'd be adorable. So yeah, there's so many options there. But
would you use the same flower picks and the same sprays and everything on the table, just less?
Absolutely. And we do a lot of like centerpieces here. We have designers on team, and they'll create longer pieces, you know, and they'll bring in some of the florals and ribbons, and a lot of times we'll use like candlesticks, groupings of 3, to create that height too. So
you said 3. Is there magic in odd numbers?
I just like them.
So do I.
I think there is, but I don't know if that's a proven theory.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I like groups of 3s or odd numbers. So
I always say, always work in odds: 3, 5, 7s, 9s. It just tends to work.
Got it.
And also because when we're decorating, you know, you kind of are creating like a zigzag through the tree, and so, you know, if you have 3 of a bigger piece on the front, that's generally going to give you a cohesive look.
Okay, so this might be a controversial question, but if you have a Christmas tree and it's against the wall, do you have to decorate the whole thing?
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't either.
Okay, I don't.
No, and absolutely, you know, that's a great question. My thought is get the most bang for your buck. And so if you're not going to see the back, put all the stuff on the front. So it's going to be more impactful that way.
Yes, that's a great tip.
Now there's times to break that rule too. If it's in a window, or, you know, you definitely want to not skimp there.
There you go.
If it's in the corner, absolutely, you could bring it all to the front.
Hey, if you like this video today, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, or maybe some of my crafting videos, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button as well. I try to put out videos at least once a week. And if you are new to my channel, you can find out way more about me and some of my crafty goodness on my website, triedandtruebytrista.com.